Hari Om. Starting with invocation, let us chant from verses 6 to 10 of Atma Bodha. Pratah smarami hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yasvapna jagara sushuttamaveti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham na cha bhuta sangha Samsara swapna tulyo hi ragat veshati sankulaha Swakale satyavadbhati Prabodhe satya sadbhave Tapat satyam jagat bhati Shrutikara jatam yatha Yavanna jnayate brahma Sarvadhishthānamavayam Upadane khiladhare Jaganti parameshware Sargasthiti layan yanti Udbudani vavarini Satchidatmanyanusute Nitye Vishnau prakalpitaha Vyaktayo vividha sarvaha Katake katakavivat Yatha kasho rishikesha Nanopādhikato vibhuhu Tadbhedat bhinnavadbhati Tannāshe kevalo bhave
Om Pratah smarami hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptamaveti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangha Verse number 8. Verse number 8 reads Upadane khiladhare jaganti parameshware Sargasthitilayan yanti budbudhaniva varini Upadane khiladhare jaganti parameshware Sargasthitilayan yanti budbudhaniva varini Like bubbles in water, the worlds arise from, exist in, and dissolve into the Supreme Lord, the material cause and supporter of everything. Like bubbles in water, The worlds arise from, exist in, and dissolve into the Supreme Lord, the material cause and supporter of everything. The example that in this verse is like bubbles in the water. Like bubbles in the water, the worlds, the Jagat, which we saw in the previous verse, the Jagat which we discussed in the previous verse, like bubbles in the water, they rise, they come out of Brahman, exist in Brahman, and dissolve back into Brahman. And this Brahman is the material cause and the support of everything. The Supreme Self, here he uses the word Parameshwara, Parama Ishwara, Supreme Lord. Every creation, he's talking about creation. Every creation has three causes. What is known as the material cause, the efficient cause, the instrumental cause. Creation has these three causes: the material, the efficient, and the instrumental. Here what he calls it as the Upadana Karana. When he talks about Upadana Karana, what it means is all the three causes. I'll explain. It's not very difficult. The material cause, the efficient cause, and the instrumental cause. The pot has come about. The pot is the created. You see a pot. When you see a pot, you understand that the pot is being created. Now, what went into the cause for the pot to come into existence? What caused the pot to come into existence? It is of three types. It is of three types. One is the material cause. The fundamental material with which the mud is, the pot is made. And what is the fundamental material with which the pot is made? The clay, the mud. Therefore, clay becomes the material cause for the pot to come into existence. If we say mud is the cause, if we say clay is the cause, wherever there is clay, it doesn't become pot by itself. It doesn't become pot by itself. Clay exists as clay only. It doesn't become a pot by itself. Now, somebody converted the clay into the pot. That converter is called as the potter, who is the efficient cause. There is the potter and then there is the clay. The potter simply looking at the pot, thinking that clay turn into pot, clay turn into pot. He keeps instructing the clay to turn into pot. Will it turn? So he needs some instruments. That which goes into the creation of the clay into pot, the potter, with the help of some instruments, using the clay, turns the clay into the pot. So the instruments that he uses is called the instrumental cause. What is the instrumental cause? The wheel, the stick, the post, the stamba, the wheel, the light, the sunlight, whatever he used. Now, what do you understand? Whenever you see something created, you understand that these three are there at the background. Are you able to follow? Wherever you see something, you should realize that there are these three. What are the three? The material cost, the efficient cost, and then the instrumental cost. This is one. Second thing is, of all the causes that goes into making the pot, these material, instrument, and efficient cost also is divided as the primary cost and the secondary cost. The primary cost and the secondary cost. When we say the primary cost and the secondary cost, what it means is the mud is the primary cost, rest are all the secondary cost. What is the difference between the primary cost and the secondary cost? The product cannot be free from the primary cost. The product cannot be from the primary cost. Whatever the product can never be free from is known as the primary cost. The secondary causes are those that helped the pot to come into creation and then leave. Now, the potter, after making the pot, he takes it to the market, sells it. So the efficient cost is removed from the pot. Second, the wheel, the post, and all that is discarded after the pot is made. The pot can say, leave me alone to the secondary cost. The pot cannot say, leave me alone to the primary cost. The pot cannot say, leave me alone, give me a break. Wherever I go, why are you coming with me? Just leave me alone for a while. The pot cannot say to one thing pot cannot say, leave me alone to that one thing. That one thing the pot can never be free of. That one thing which the pot is nothing but the modification of that one is called the primary cost. What is that primary cost? That primary cost is the clay. Pot can never be free of the clay. These examples are very good, sir. These examples are very good. This pot and wheeler and looks like a kindergarten school. Mari, you treated us like kindergarten kids and taught us. No, it's not my fault. The Upanishads gives only these examples. Vedanta gives only these examples, and there is no need to be creative and give new examples, because these examples are so complete in itself. So complete in themselves. Now, having understood that every creation has these three causes, and these three causes are distinct from one another. They are distinct and different from one another. Now comes the real philosophy. Up to this point, the clay and the pot, there is no philosophy in that. It is to make you believe that we are also very logical, just to brainwash you. That's all. Now comes the real philosophy. What is the real philosophy? The world and Brahman, Parameshwara and the Jagat. For the discussion here is not between the clay and the pot. The discussion here is between Parameshwara and Jagat. What is the connection? Like bubbles. What is the connection? Like bubbles. Now, Brahman, the clay, is Parameshwara. Adukosana don't say God is clay, yeah? Don't say that. It is just it is a comparison. You should not say God is not clay. Kaliman sir, our correct sonal. God is Kaliman da. Clay, Kaliman. Not God is not that. So the fundamental material is Brahman. The world comes out of the Brahman. Where you have to stretch your thinking to understand, where you have to stretch your intellect a little bit to think and understand is in the case of the clay and the pot, material cost, instrumental cost, efficient cost, all are distinct and different. When it comes to Parameshwara and Jagat, all three becomes one. All three becomes one. Angada, you feel like scratching your head and say, yeah, that's safe in the Mari where you don't have to scratch anything, where you don't have to pull out anything. Because you understand, most ignore. Inniki class bore now inniki class is not going to be a very interesting session today. Why? Because all the three in the creation of the finite world, the three causes are one and the same. How can it be one and the same? Water into bubble. The bubble that comes out of Brahman creates the world out of itself. Brahman creates the world out of itself. As it were, as it were. In the first step, difficult to solve. Just as in science, Big Bang archim solrada difficult to digest. After that, it becomes very. After that, it is perfectly logical. After that, first point is illogical. The first point, the starting point transcends our understanding. So what they do, they have to give an example to explain that. This is where Upamana. Atmabodha is the Upamana Shastra, because at each and every verse he is giving one example to communicate. Brahman created the world out of itself. Mundaka Upanishad says, like spider. How can it create out of itself? Spider creates the web out of it. It spits it out as it were and pulls it back as it were. Not as it were. That's what it does. That's what it does. So, just as the spider creates it out of itself and swallows it back, Brahman creates the world and goes back into the world. Also, what he does, after creating it, he doesn't leave it alone. Now that I have created, you have your own wings, you fly, and you take care of yourself. Brahman doesn't say that. So after creating, what Brahman says, it is supporting it. So Brahman becomes the creator, Brahman becomes the supporter, and when the world dissolves, where does it go back into? It goes back into Brahman. The world has no existence apart from Brahman. Just as the pot cannot have existence apart from the clay. So, we are giving 3-4 examples. From each and every example, you have to take only one point for comparison. Don't take the entire upamana and try to understand. Don't take one upamana and try to understand. One upamana, one comparison is talking about one particular angle only. What is that particular angle? Just as the pot cannot have an existence apart from the clay. When the pot is dissolved, clay doesn't get dissolved. Similarly, the world has no existence apart from Brahman. When world dissolves, Brahman still exists. World pochina Brahman again now. Brahman will not get dissolved. Just as when the pot is dissolved, clay doesn't get destroyed. Just as when the pot is dissolved, the clay doesn't get destroyed. Similarly, when the world is dissolved, Brahman remains the same. A person who has seen all this is saying, so you have to just, a person who has seen this, experienced this is saying, what you have to do? You have to accept it. Just as light travels at the speed of 176,000 kilometers per second. Have you traveled with that light at that speed to verify it? Somebody calculated, somebody verified, and they said you also by-hearted it, wrote it in the exam, and you got 100 on 100, though you have no clue to, though you have no understanding of that speed. Similarly, a person who has experienced it is saying, you accept it. When he's saying it, he's just not making a statement. He's trying to make you understand what he has experienced. He's trying to give a glimpse. He's trying to explain to you and give you a glimpse of what he has experienced. What is it? The world arises out of Brahman. And when it arises out of Brahman, it doesn't become separate from Brahman. It exists as Brahman. And even when it dissolves back as Brahman. Example, concept purely example, like bubbles. Now what is the bubble? What is the bubble now? The pluralistic world is compared to the bubbles, which arise out of water, exist in water, and merge back into water. They arise out of water, exist in water, and merge back into water. When it is rising, existing, and dissolving, what happens? The bubble, which is the name and form, carefully follow. Though it is water, you don't call it as water. Why you call it as a bubble? Because it has a unique name and form. Since it has that unique nama rupa, that uniqueness of name and form is the cause of the false projection. What is the false projection? Bubbles into water is the wave and the ocean. Budbudhaniva varini. The wave and the ocean. The wave seems to have a separate existence apart from the ocean. The property of the ocean is different. The property of the wave is different. The ocean is calm. Waves are moving, turbulent. So, what makes you call it as a wave instead of calling it as a water? What makes you to call that as a wave? And then there is a small wave, and then there is a medium wave, and then there is a big wave. Yeah. Some waves are very nice. You can write poetry. Tsunami wave destroys everything. So there is, why would you call it as a wave and not as water, though it is water? Because it has a name and a form. Are you okay till now? So wherever there is a name and form, instantly what happens? Wherever there is a name and form, what happens instantly? You get carried away by the name and form. You see the name and form, and you get carried away by the name and the form. The moment you get carried away by the name and form, what do? The moment you get carried away by the name and form, what happens after that? You see the name and form and miss the. When you see the name and form, you miss the reality that is supporting that name and form. At a deeper level, you don't understand that name and form is nothing but the reality. Two things. Are you able to follow? At one level, you don't see the reality itself, for you are carried away by the name and the form. Second one is at the deeper level, when you see a name and form, you understand, or you should understand it as, Brahman only, the reality only. But you cannot do that. Why you cannot do that? For you are influenced by the name and the form. The one divides itself into two. The one mind divides itself into the dream subject and the dream world. Again I repeat, the one mind divides itself into two. What are the two? The dream subject and the dream object. The Jagat of the dream world and the Jiva, the individual experiencing the Jagat, both are, the material for both is the same. What is the material for both? What is the material for both? For the dream. For the dream, what is the material? Mind is the material for the dream. The mind is the material for the dream. that one mind which has infinite potential in it splits itself into two fundamentally. What is that fundamental two? The Jiva and the Jagat. The subject and the object. The subject and the object, the moment you say it divides into two, what is the division? Two distinct different Nama Rupa. Two distinct different Nama Rupa. Jagat has a different Nama Rupa. The Jiva has the different Nama Rupa. The Jagat has a different Nama Rupa. What is the Nama Rupa of the Jagat? The sun, the universe is 8 billion years old. I am just saying some number. I really don't know. How old is the universe? The universe is 8 billion years old, sir. But I am only 30 years old. I am only 40 years old. I am only 8 years young. They don't say I am 10 years young. They say I am 10 years old. And the old man says I am. We are all of the same group. And you know, we are all the school alumni club, where we are still friends and we and all that. Big discussion going on for the last Corona ஆரம்பிச்சதுலேருந்து. How many of us are going to turn 50 years young this year? And how many are going to turn 50 years young next year? Now, I belong to the category of 50 years young next year. In the வருஷம் இல்ல. இன்னும் அந்த 40s தான் 49 அவ்வளவுதான், ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. No பெரிய difference. Old, young. The subject is 40 years old, 50 years old. The object Jagat is 8 billion years old. How is it possible? Just as in the dream it is possible even. It is possible even here. It is possible even here. No. Therefore, there are two Jagats. There are not two Jagat, two things. One is the subject and another is the object. Object, Nama Rupa. Subject, Nama Rupa. And what is the nature of this Nama Rupa? Nama and Rupa nale change. And changes has to be supported by Adhishtanam, changeless, which is the previous verse. Changes has to be supported by an Adhishtanam, which is changeless, which we saw in detail in the previous class. Now, from Adhishtanam, from the changeless, the discussion is moving slowly towards analyzing the Jagat part. Are you able to follow now? Previously, we said there is a changeless that is supporting all the changes. Now, the discussion is about the change. The changing factor we are discussing. What is the changing factor? The changing factor is nothing but the wave in the ocean. But the wave is created, the wave exists, and the wave merges back. Creation has to have a purpose. Creation has to have a purpose, no? Or so the human mind thinks. The human mind has to put a purpose for everything. Yeah, that is human mind. That's why the human mind will ask the same question. What is the purpose for creation? What is the purpose of Vedanta class? Yeah. What is the purpose of birth itself, sir? What is the meaning of life? Meaning of life is experience. Now you are not happy. No. Purpose of life. When you say what is the meaning of life, now what are you asking? What is the purpose? What is the purpose? What is the purpose? For the human mind, which is utilitarian by nature, asks this question: what is the purpose? Why God created this world, sir? Bhaskar Shastri. Purida. Why God created this world? Abdina, what is the purpose for him to create the world? For he created the world so we suffer, and looking at our suffering, he is happy. Why can't he simply stay? Why he could have simply stayed? Quite for creation implies a purpose. Purpose implies a desire. The potter had a desire to make the pot. Abdina, what desire did Brahman have to create the world? Brahman says, that's the wrong comparison. And the potter, you don't compare it like that. My vastness creates it. It's the vastness. The vastness creates it. The nature of vastness is something will keep coming out of it. What is vastness creating it? A beautiful example is the wave and the ocean. In a spoon, there is no wave. You take water in a spoon, there is no wave. You take water in a glass, there is no wave. You take water in a mug, there is no wave. You take water in a bucket, there is no wave. In a pond, it appears to be something, but there is no wave. Yeah. Ocean, which is nothing but the vast sheet of water. So, the very nature of vastness has this, what? Something coming out of it and merging back. The very vastness itself makes it. What? The very vastness makes it. What is the vastness making it? It ensures that something comes out of it and goes back. Ensure no kuda sollakudadu. Endha vaarthayume solla mudiyilla. For any word you use, it is faulty da. Any word we use, it is a wrong word. And still they are trying to explain. Though it is anirvachaniya, though it is inexplicable, that inexplicable has to be explained that it is inexplicable. Just saying that it is inexplicable, abdina, oh, ungalku theriyadhu pola irukku, ivarukku therilla, adanala dhaan, instead of saying I don't know how to say endradhukku badala, he is simply saying it as inexplicable. The Kenopanishad Guru says, I don't know how to say that. Naham manyeshu vedeti, nona vedeti vedacha. Yonas tatveda, nona vedeti vedacha. Isyamatam tasya matam tasya na vedasaha. Avijñātam vijānatam, vijñātam avijānatam. Kenopanishad. I know it, but I do not know how to. I know it, but I do not know how to explain it. Why? Because the carrier has the words which are the carrier has its own limitation. And your understanding of the word is again another confusion. Yeah. I say one word, and how you will receive that word is, it's a mystery. And God only knows how you are receiving it. Not only that, how you are receiving it, and when you put it back, it is much more. So, the carrier is the problem, the receiving instrument is the problem, and then when you reproduce it, it is another in the chaotic thing. People say, I have clarity. I know exactly what I know exactly what I'm doing, sir. I know exactly what I want. Brahman will be laughing and saying, it is inexplicable. The fact that it is inexplicable has to be explained. And now he is doing that. How? By bringing in various upamana, by bringing in various examples, and each and every example conveys each and every example conveys one point of comparison, and that helps you to understand. Understand what? Understand that எனக்கு ஒன்றும் புரியாது. I cannot. It is inexplicable. It is anirvachaniyam. It is not understandable. அது straight away and not understandable சொல்லி முடிச்சிருக்கலாம் 7:45K இல்லையா? At least we could have at least we can have our breakfast on. Yeah, at least we'll have our breakfast on time. The Saturday classes, Sunday classes எல்லாம் சார் எங்க breakfast time whole day schedule is going because of you. People complained. Venkat. நான் சொன்னேன், I said அதுக்கு தான் கேமராவை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி வச்சுடுறேன். Yeah, that's why you are closing the camera, no? And after a while, I'm seeing only 10th minute only blank screen. So what I did now, and yesterday also, yesterday Manogaran asked, sir, in the online class, இப்போ ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்குது sir. You know Manogaran, I told Manogaran, you don't know the secret. What is the secret? I put my picture in the screen so big. ஏன்னா எல்லாம் blank screen இருக்குது. So I really don't know who I am talking to after a point. அவங்க இருக்கிறாங்களா இல்லையா, switch off ஆயிட்டா இருக்கிற, I really don't have any clue to what is happening. So what I do, my picture is so big and I am talking to myself. When I am talking to myself, I am fully understanding what I am saying. No, யாருமே அங்க இல்ல. Nobody is there. Who's listening, who's not listening, camera, no camera. I really, and I'm not asking any one of you to switch it on, please. You switch it on, you switch it off. My face is so clear now to me. அதை பார்த்து பேசும்போது, to me it is like my study, morning study, அவ்வளவுதான். Because when I am sitting and doing my morning reflection, who's there in front of me? So what I do, extended reflection. எதுக்கு இவ்வளோ ஸ்டோரி? I am saying so much stories is because inexplicable. You could have easily inexplicable. You could have easily said not understandable. Close it and so at least we can follow our daily routine very, very clearly. The vastness creates it. The vastness of the ocean creates a illusion of a temporary wave that is separate from it. Carefully follow. The vastness of the ocean creates an illusory wave, giving it an appearance as though that wave is separate from ocean. It is an appearance. It is an appearance. And what is that appearance? The material, the Nama Rupa. And what is that Nama Rupa? From verse number 10 onwards, he is going to talk about the Nama Rupa in detail. The Panchabhutas and the gross, subtle and causal bodies, the Panchakoshas, and all that is going to talk. For that is the wave. First he said, there is something that is permanent, but you don't see it. You see only the Nama Rupa. I'm just recapturing all the steps. You see the Nama Rupa. As you see the Nama Rupa, you also understand that this Nama Rupa is changing. from the changing Nama Rupa, you can project and understand that all the change has to be supported by a changeless entity. And that changeless entity is supporting the changes. Now, supporting the changes means what? The world comes out of Brahman, exists in Brahman, and dissolves back into Brahman. Just as the dream subject and the dream world comes out of the mind, exists as the mind, and merges back, dissolves back into the mind. When it comes out, it is the mind. When it is existing, it is the mind. When it is goes back, it is the mind. So the example is like the waves. Akila Adhara. Akila Adhara. Upadana, I am the material cause. I am the supporter. Akila Adhara. I am the, and it dissolves back into me only. What is this? Sarga Sthiti Laya Yantihi. Beautiful three words. Sarga Sthiti Laya. Sarga Sthiti Laya is the process of creation. Sarga means arising. Sthiti means existing. Layam means dissolving. Sarga Sthiti Laya. Sarga Sthiti Layan Yanti Budbudani Varini. Meaning, I am the cause, I am the existence, and I am the resolution. I am the cause, I am the existence, and I am the resolution. The waker's mind is every part of the dream. It is the mind that turns into the temple in the dream. It is the same mind that turns into the sewage running in the dream. And there is no divine mind and dirty mind. The dream temple, the dream sewage, both are of the mind only. But then it is not the divine part of the mind created the temple, and the dirty part of the mind created the sewage. It is the mind that comes out, exists, and goes back. Similarly, Budbudaniva Varini. Budbudaniva Varini. Budbudaniva Varini. You can call it world, you can call it universe, you can call it galaxy. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. All that is conceivable and perceivable. What it means is, all that is conceivable, all that is perceivable comes out of that inconceivable. Water is the complete cause, just as Brahman is all the three causes. What are the three causes? Are you able to follow now? What are the three causes? The material, efficient, and instrument. For the bubble, water is all the three causes. Just as water can be all the three causes for the bubble, similarly, Parameshwara is all the three causes for the world. It can be taught only through it can be taught only through an example. Upamana. It can be taught only through an upamana. Therefore, he is resorting to this example of the wave and the ocean, the bubble and the water and the bubble. The pure consciousness. Brahman means the pure consciousness. There is that conscious principle in everything. There is this conscious principle in everything. That conscious principle in everything has very many types of nama rupa, has very many types of manifestations, but the conscious principle is one and same and common in everything. Are you able to follow? What is that conscious principle? They say, no, or arivu, rendarivu, moonarivu, nalarivu, anjarivu. Man is supposed to have the sixth cinema vandadu, seventh, clear. And then it will go to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can keep adding how much ever you want. What it means is, as the number of senses increases, as the number of senses increases, as the number of instrument increases, the knowledge goes on increasing. But what is something common to all these? What is something that is common to all this? The consciousness is common to all this. And why we call that as pure consciousness? We call that as pure consciousness just as we say clay is pure of the pot. Are you able to follow? We call it as pure consciousness because just as the clay is pure from the pot, consciousness enlivens everything. When there is nothing to enliven, it exists by itself. Clay turns into pot, and when it doesn't turn into pot, it exists as clay by itself. Light enlivens everything, and where there is nothing to enliven, what will happen to light? Light off aiduma. Light enlivens, light brightens up everything. When there is nothing to brighten up, what will happen to the light? Light off aiduma. Life will, sorry, not life, light. Light will exist. So, the Nama Rupa, the changing Nama Rupa is a dependent existence, enlivening factor, and it also exists by itself. And when it creates, it doesn't diminish any less. When it creates, diminishing yeah. Nowadays we talk about zero wastage, no? In creation, zero wastage happens only to Brahman, because how much ever Brahman creates, nothing gets diminished in Brahman. Another example. What is the example for that? From one light, you can light a million, from one lamp, you can light a millions of lamps, but that original lamp retains it doesn't become less, no? Are you able to follow? Now that it has lighted 100 lamps, the original lamp doesn't become less dim, nor the original lamp becomes more bright. It means what? It creates, it supports, it merges back, even when something comes out of it, the original quality of it doesn't diminish. It remains in its pure form. A symbolic name is given to that called Parameshwara. A symbolic name is called to that calling Parameshwara. Oh, Abdina Shankara is a Shaivite, no? That is why he is calling it as Parameshwara. Verse number 9, he will call it as Vishnu. So you are completely confused now, whether he is supporting them or he is supporting, or you will say he is like a chameleon, sir. Pachundi madri avaru engalla irukudho, he keeps changing colors according to. In verse number 8, he calls it as Parameshwara. Verse number 9, he calls as Vishnu. Verse number 9. Satchidatmanyanusyute nitye Vishnau prakalpitaha vyaktayo vivida sarvaha hatake katakadivat. Verse number 9. Satchidatmanyanusyute nitye Vishnau prakalpitaha vyaktayo vivida sarvaha hatake katakadivat. The manifested world of plurality is superimposed by imagination upon the eternal. The manifested world of plurality is superimposed by imagination upon the eternal, all-pervading Vishnu. Jaganti Parameshware, he said previous verse. Now he is saying Nitye Vishnu Prakalpitaha. This all-pervading Vishnu, whose nature is existence, intelligence, just as bangles, etc. on gold. Bangles, etc. on gold. Atmabodha is such a beautiful text because of the examples that he brings in. And he doesn't bring any complicated examples. All the examples that you can see on your day-to-day life examples only, he takes it and makes it very, very simple. Hatake katakadivat. On gold, just as bangles, etc. Verse number 8, macro. Verse number 9, micro. That's all. Verse number 8, macro. Macro, not the totality. Waves, bubbles, and all that. Now, he's talking about the micro. Micro means the object pati pesnaru. Now, he's talking about the subject. So, object pati pesumbodhu Parameshwara, subject pati pesumbodhu Vishnu. It doesn't really matter. Vishnu, Parameshwara and all is the symbolic name that the symbolic name given to the pure consciousness. Pure consciousness, Brahman, pure consciousness. People say no. And the connect sir. We aren't able to feel the connect, and the connect feel out. So Vishnu, Parameshwara and Sonna, you feel a connect. Then people feel a connect. Therefore, he uses those kind of beautiful names, symbolic. The manifested world of plurality is superimposed by imagination upon the eternal, all-pervading Vishnu, whose nature is existence, intelligence, just as bangles, etc. on gold. Bangles, etc. on gold. Important thing is pure consciousness. It is the consciousness that lends consciousness to the other. It is the consciousness that lends consciousness to the other. Consciousness you don't create. Consciousness is that which is there already. Consciousness is there which is there already. Yeah. Bangles, etc. on gold. What is bangles, etc. on gold? I gave this example any number of times. Bangles, etc. on gold. When you wear all the ornaments and go out in the street, chain snatcher nu solranga illaya. Actually he is not a chain snatcher, because you wear a chain of you wear a chain of rusted iron, he will come and snatch it. Chain snatcher. I said adula kuda vaartha correct ah poda therilla. I said once, he is not a chain snatcher, he is a gold snatcher. For what he is snatching is the gold, not the chain, because he is a chain snatcher. Any chain you wear, he should snatch, no? Imagine you wear a solid iron chain, and that fellow will not come near you, because yaruk and the solid chain katti viduvanga. Oh, something wrong with that fellow. He will not even come near you. So various ornaments. What are the various ornaments? Bangles, etc. Bangles, etc. So, you see a bangle. Correct. Bangle na kaila podradha. Yeah. You see a bangle, ring. Adile different rings. Aprom nose ring. Here. Yeah. Waistla, kaalla, serupla, everywhere you can keep. What does the thief see? He sees the bangle, but he understands the gold. The value is for bangle ke value or gold ke value? The gold is the value there, not the bangle. Similarly, Nitye Vishnau Prakalpitaha. When he sees this plurality, the Nama Rupa, he understands the value to all this is because of the Chaitanyam, the consciousness that is in this Nama Rupa. Just as it is the gold in this ring, it is the gold in the bangle, it is the gold in the earring, nose ring. So ornaments are many, gold is all pervading. Gold pervades. Not only in one ornament the gold pervades, the gold pervades all the ornaments. That is how consciousness, not only your consciousness, everything is consciousness. Oh, the gold ring அப்படினா அதுல மட்டும் தான் கோல்டா சார்? மிச்சதெல்லாம் பித்தளையா? மிச்சதெல்லாம் காப்பரா? No. Gold pervades this ornament and gold pervades everything. Gold and bangle example, Swamiji always says. The gold and bangle example solli you are cheating us, sir. And the mother-in-law Nama Rupala definitely God doesn't exist. எங்க பில்டிங் எங்க பில்டிங்ல வந்து பாருங்க, நீங்க இந்த 4th floorல one fellow இருக்கிறார் பாருங்க. Definitely God doesn't exist. Definitely consciousness is not in that Namarupa. Why? He doesn't pay the maintenance at all. Yeah. Why? Because he doesn't pay the maintenance at all. அவங்க ரொம்ப கஷ்டத்துல இருப்பாரு போல இருக்கு. அதெல்லாம் இல்ல சார், BMW வாங்கினார் last month. Association maintenance is pending for 6 months. But Mercedes BMW, the BMW EMI la கொடுத்தாங்க வாங்கிட்டாரு இல்லையா? You are not giving EMI, so what will he? What will you give EMI? Here also maybe he will follow. Conscious gold doesn't pervade, it is all pervading in relation to one ornament, it is all pervading in relation to all the ornaments. Similarly, Brahman is all pervading in one and it is all pervading in all. So, when it is pervading in one and it is pervading in all, it is called all pervasive. It pervades the subject, it pervades the object. Not only it pervades the subject, and since it pervades the subject and the object completely, fully, it is known as all pervading. The mind creates the lion that wakes it up. The dream lion. The dream lion created by what? The dream lion is created by what? By the same mind. Therefore, he says, I caused the dream, I caused that which helps you to get out of the dream. I caused the dream, I caused that which drove you into the dream. Again, I caused that which helps you to get out of the dream. It means what? Right through, I am there. Right through, I am there. Since I am there right through, he is the only true, permanent, real supporter. Are you able to follow? Since he is there, he is the true, real, permanent supporter. In a very simple way, they say, God is the real supporter. God is the true supporter. God is the ultimate supporter. And we think God is the supporter, and we think what? God will give sukha to me and he will give dukkha to the 4th floor fellow. Yeah. He give joy and happiness to me and he will give pain and suffering to the 4th floor fellow. Now God is the supporter. Supposing if God gives dukkha to me and next month another BMW in his house, sir, இந்த காலத்துல கடவுள கூட காசு கொடுத்து வாங்கிடலாம் சார். Nowadays even gods can be purchased. Why? Because I am in suffering, he is in. Now the nama rupa goes through these modifications and changes. The pure self remains the creator, supporter, and that one which helps you to dissolve. And the all pervasiveness, the example here, first he gave, carefully follow the examples. First he gave the wave and the ocean. First naka, not in the very first verse. In the material equipment superimposed Brahman rathukku. material equipment superimpose Brahmanradhukku, first he gave the example of Adhishtanam, silver in an oyster shell, and then he gave bubbles in water. Now he is giving bangles etc. on gold. Now he is giving bangles etc. on gold. As he is developing the thought, he is giving one example also to communicate that particular point that he is trying to convey. What is it that he is trying to convey here? Brahman is eternal, all-pervading, Sat Chit Ananda, existence, intelligence. He doesn't use the word bliss. We have to add that also. Because sometimes he will say Sat and Chit, sometimes he will say Chit and Ananda. That is because of the restrictions of the poetry. It's the meter, no? Atma Bodha and all, it is a composed thing. When it is composed, you have to restrict you to a meter. So what you do, according to the length of the meter and all that, they realign the words. That is why when we are elaborating it, when we are expanding it, that which he implied but didn't mention, we supply that. We add that. So when he says Chit, existence, intelligence, we add the third one. What is the third one? We add the bliss. So just as ornaments are many, depending on the size of the ornament, the value also differs. But the real value, is it because of the ornament or is it because of the gold? It is the gold content that brings the value to it. So what is Brahman? Brahman here is described as eternal. Brahman here is described as eternal, all-pervading. In the example, in the sequence Allah. The sequence Allah when we conclude it in verse number 15 and 16, how material equipment superimpose world on Brahman, it would be easy to follow. Atma Bodha is supposed to give you an intellectual conviction on material equipments superimpose world on Brahman. It is supposed to give you that conviction, and he is going step by step. What Upanishads speak very randomly. They don't worry about a systematic thought flow. Allah. They say a word here, they say a word there, and you are supposed to remember and catch and understand everything. In Atma Bodha, the Guru is so compassionate. In Atma Bodha, he has understood the limitations of our thinking and he is making it so sequential. That's why it's called introductory textbook. Introductory textbook means the concepts explained sequentially. Introductory textbook not alphabets. So many people think, sir, on the introductory textbooks, sir, we will study Upanishad. So, but yeah. Who's there to who's the teacher and who's the qualified adhikari to listen to all that? You follow? Therefore, what he is saying here is he is developing the thought flow very sequentially. As he is developing the thought flow very sequentially, even if you forget the concepts, remember the examples. Silver in an oyster shell, wave on the ocean, bubble and the water. Here is gold on ornaments. Gold on ornaments. Just as Parameshwara referred to the supreme reality, symbolic name in the previous verse, Vishnu refers to the same reality. Sarga, Sthiti, Laya, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Creator, destroyer. Between creation and destruction, it exists. While it is existing, that existence is supported. That is called supporter. Are you able to follow the symbolic thing? Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Brahma is the creator. Shiva is said to be the destroyer. Birth and death. There is the birth, there is the death. Between birth and death, it is existing, no? When it is existing, that existence has to be supported. So the supporter of existence is called Vishnu. So same Brahman, the same Brahman has these distinct roles from the angle of creation. From the angle of the world, it is of three. Sarga, Sthiti, Laya. Creator, protector, destroyer. Another maintainer, he is a maintenance guy. Vishnu. Yeah, that's why we don't say he's a maintenance person. Yeah. Creator, protector, and destroyer. That's sir, our special pair, our maintainer, our creator, destroyer, you are a maintainer. You can give whatever word you want to use, you use. Doesn't make any difference. But these distinct three manifestations happen. In every creation, all these three exist. What are the three? Birth, maintenance, destruction. Birth, maintenance, destruction. Between birth and death, that period is called existence, protection, maintenance. Brahman is all that. Brahman is all that. God is all that. 68 verses to say Brahman is everything. Atma Bodha. Everything is Atman. Atma Bodha. Everything is Brahman. He is teaching everything is Brahman. Everything is Brahman, Brahma Vidya. Everything is Atman, Atma Vidya. And Atman equals Brahman. So it doesn't make any. Therefore, first he said there is an Adhisthana. First there is an Adhisthana. And then there is the manifestation. And then there is the manifestation. And then what is now? That manifestation is nothing but the all-pervading. The manifestation is nothing but the all-pervading reality. With this, verse number 9 is concluded. Next class, we continue with verse number 10 onwards. There is a couple of clarifications. I'll take those clarifications and conclude the session. First clarification. Bhaskar Shastri. Can we say Brahman is beyond cause and effect phenomena that we understand in the earthly plane? Perhaps this is the reason too that science is unable to comprehend the concept of divine. Correct. The science cannot comprehend the concept of divine because science has to analyze everything objectively in terms of Nama Rupa. Science analyzes, science reasons, science thinks, everything in the boundary of Nama Rupa. It has to give a name, it has to give a form, it has to do everything. The divine science thinks, science analyzes everything which the eyes see. Vedanta analyzes that which makes the eyes to see. Both are inquiry, both are thinking, both are inquiry, both are analysis, both are science, both are logic, both are reasoning. But the fundamental difference is science inquires about that which the eyes sees. That which is the eyes can't see, science say probably. That which the eyes cannot see, the science says probably. Yeah. One of my friend yesterday, suddenly I am realizing that all my friends are turning very philosophical. You know, why I never did that? 50s all of them are turning 50 young, no? So they are all becoming very philosophical, and the group is so active, and yeah. And the Vedanta class, உங்களை யாரும் அந்த கிளாஸ்ல உட்கார்த்தி வைக்க முடியாது இல்லையா? It will be such an ugly class it is. Yeah. You know that class going on. Suddenly that fellow is asking, hey, அது அந்த probability-na மச்சி அந்த parallel universe என்னது? I said, no, see, I am a guru here sitting and talking. What nonsense. Hey, pada, change the dress and come. So just to irritate them, I go and sit like this, just to irritate them. Immediately, the two girls. That girl is telling me, இந்த வேஷம் எல்லாம் அவங்கள்ட்ட போடு, இது வேஷம். She is saying, all this vesha, put it to those people in the class, not to us. ஒழுங்கா t-shirt போட்டு வந்து உட்காரு. So I also immediately I changed the t-shirt and the parallel universe. What is that parallel universe? What is that parallel universe? One probability that is happening here, the opposite is happening in some other universe. That is parallel universe. Yeah. If I am dead here, I am alive in some other universe. If I am living here, I am dead in some other universe. It's a parallel universe. அதுக்குன்னு ஒரு சயின்ஸ் இருக்கு, அதுக்குன்னு ஒரு கான்செப்ட்ஸ், அதுக்குன்னு ஒரு இது. அது நீதான் இந்த தேவையில்லாத சப்ஜெக்ட் எல்லாம் படிச்சு வச்சிருப்பிய, அதை பத்தி நீ என்ன சொல்ற? இது that which the eyes can't see, it calls it as probable. Are you able to follow? Vedanta doesn't talk about the probability like that. Vedanta says there is something which makes the eyes to see. There is something which makes the eyes to see. What is that? With the eyes I am able to see everything. Why is it that the eyes can't see itself? Or what is it that is making me to know that I have eyes, though I have not seen it? இதெல்லாம் தான் சார் பைத்தியம் முடிக்கிறதுக்கு வேலை. Life is very clear, very simple, not complicated at all. இந்த வேதாந்த ஆளுங்கள்லாம் இல்லையா, நருக் சேகருக்கு கோவம் வந்துடும் இதெல்லாம் பேசினாலே. சார் இதெல்லாம் பேசாதீங்க, இதெல்லாம் நீங்க சும்மா பேசினே இருக்கிறது, டைம் பாஸுக்கு, இதெல்லாம் வேலையை பாருங்க. he will say. அவர் என்ன வேலை பார்த்தாரோ தெரியல எனக்கு இல்லையா, அவர் வாழ்க்கையில என்ன வேலை பார்த்தாருன்னு தெரியாது. ஆனா he keeps telling me, வேலையை பாருங்க, வேலையை பாருங்க, வேலையை பாருங்க. Venkat, he says that, no? Am I lying or am I saying the truth? Truth. He tells me, வேலை பாருங்க. Even though the eyes doesn't have, the eyes have not seen itself, how do you know? இதெல்லாம் வெட்டி பேச்சு இதெல்லாம். Divine is that which enables the subject to, that which makes the eyes to see. Science sees that which light enlivens. Are you able to follow? Science sees that which the light enlivens. Vedanta says, what is that light? So, the subject matter of the very subject matter itself is different. Are you able to follow? Biology class the subject matter is different. Chemistry class the subject matter is different. In the economics class the subject matter is different. But all are called sciences, correct? There is science involved in economics, there is science involved in mathematics, there is science involved in biology, there is science involved in chemistry, but the subject matter is different. So what we do, all the subject matter the science inquires, we put it on one side and we call it as the world. We are not calling it as inferior, we call it as the world. And then distinct and different from all this is the divine. Therefore, science cannot comprehend. Science cannot comprehend the divine. Scientific methodology, buddy, I have done economics and won Nobel Prize in economics also. And that fellow goes and sits in biology class, he will not understand. He will not understand anything. Why? Because the subject matter is different. Methodology is the same. Carefully follow. All subjects follow a scientific methodology. Just because scientific methodology is followed, subject is not the same. Are you able to follow? In that way, Vedanta is also சொல்லக்கூடாது. Any inquiry is scientific. Any inquiry is methodic. Any inquiry is logical. Subject matter only differs. Therefore, divine as a subject matter cannot. Divine as a subject matter cannot be understood by science. Seriya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Bhaskar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Vidya Lakshmi. If he is creating problem, he is creating happiness. If he is creating problem, he is creating happiness. Same Brahman is experiencing happiness and sorrow. Body is just an instrument. Vidya Lakshmi, we have said it very clearly. If he is creating problem, he is not creating problem. Nama Rupa creates the problem and Nama Rupa experiences happiness and sorrow. You are correct. If he is, and the if podama irundhirundhelna where answer kuduthirpa.
Sure, sir.
Since you have put if he is creating problem, she refers to Brahman. If Brahman is the cause for problem, Brahman is the cause for happiness also. It means Brahman only is experiencing happiness and sorrow using the instrument of body. That's what she is asking. For which the answer is Vidya.
Yes, sir.
Brahman is not experiencing happiness or sorrow. It is the body that is experiencing happiness or sorrow. It is the body that is experiencing. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
How the body is going to experience happiness and sorrow? Bhoga Ayatanam. He is going to say that. In verse number 11, he is going to say Bhoga Ayatanam. In verse number 12, he is going to say, this is the instrument of Sukha and Dukkha. This is the instrument of pain and pleasure. He is going to describe that. How it is the instruments, not
Brahman.
Not Brahman. He is going to describe that. Bhoga Ayatanam. Sukha Ayatanam. He is going to describe that. And in the next couple of verses, he is going to describe. So, yeah.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. When I go there, I will explain in detail how it is the instruments, it is the instruments that experiences it, and Brahman doesn't experience anything.
So he is, sure, sir.
I'll explain it there.
Sure.
But remember this word, Bhoga Ayatanam. Ayat is going to, I'm borrowing the words from Atma Bodha. I'm using the same words in Atma Bodha that is going to use in the next couple of verses. Is it okay, Vidya?
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Alpana. Sir, these three examples show the immanence of Brahman in everything. Correct. These three examples are showing how we have heard from the Upanishads that it is Brahman. We have heard from the Upanishads that it is Brahman. In the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, I am everything. Kshetragyam chapimam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am everything. I am everything. I am everything. How to understand that I am everything? How to understand that Brahman is everything? How to give some explanation that will remove our doubts. This analysis removes the doubts. One is the statement. This analysis removes those doubts. So, Prakarana Grantha introductory textbooks means those textbooks that removes our doubts. These books removes our doubts about the statements that is said in the Upanishad. Upanishad says God is immanence. He is in everything. In fact, he is only. There is nothing else other than Brahman. Now, what these three examples talks about it, you are right. They talk about the immanence of Brahman in everything. In a very analytical way, he is trying to explain it. When he is trying to explain it, he uses two. One is he uses inference and he uses comparison, examples. So in Atma Bodha, he using the logic and reason by examples. It's a textbook that uses logic and reason supported by examples. Or every textbook uses examples, but not in each and every verse. In Atma Bodha, he uses examples in each and every verse, and each and every example communicates one particular angle. Each and every example communicates one particular angle, and at the end of the Atma Bodha, when we finish the 68th verse, all our doubts is supposed to have been removed. It will not get removed. We will start all over again with another textbook. It will not get over. So what we will do, we will start another textbook, but classes will not stop. Venkat is asking, we know that already, sir. When are you going to complete? Till somebody from the class declares, Aham Brahma
Asmi.
Asmi. Somebody declares from the class, Aham Brahma Asmi. If somebody declares, he will do the class and we all continue to listen. So, if you want to escape, what you have to do, Bhaskar Shastri? This you didn't say, sir. When Jayanti Ma called me, when you came here, you didn't say all this. And the introductory class you gave, the 4 points you gave and cheated us was very was very different, and what you are talking now is very, very different. We didn't know that. Enna pandrathu? Is it okay, Alpana?
Yes, sir. One more clarification.
Yeah.
You just said that whatever Upanishads have said,
Yes.
the doubts are clarified in the Prakarana Granthas.
Yes.
So, are the Upanishads supposed to be read first, or these introductory texts are supposed to be studied first?
Ideally speaking, what happens is, culturally, we are exposed to Upanishads first. Because the language, the culture, the vocabulary, all that is from the Upanishads only we are exposed to it. But it creates a lot of
Doubts.
It creates a lot of doubts. So what they do, they give introductory textbooks which reinforces what you have
Studied.
studied. You hear it as a Puranic story. God is everywhere. You hear it as a Puranic story. You hear it from the grandmother. You hear it from the TV Mahabharata serial. But it creates a lot of doubts. So what happens? These textbooks clears the doubts.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. With this, we conclude for today. We continue with verse number 10 onwards in the next session. Hari Om.